Hey, it's Q&A day. I'm finally feeling a little better. I know this video's long overdue. And you guys sent a lot of questions, which I'll try to answer most of in this video. I don't think I'll get to all of them, but I'll try to answer as many as possible. Let's get into the questions right away. I think I'll start off with couple related questions because I guess that's what most of our audience is interested in. So we'll start off with the channel member question. At Imagino, Arpit asks, have you guys been in a long distance relationship? And if yes, how did you manage that? Yes, most of our relationship was a long distance relationship. So when we were dating for 5.5 years, we probably spent about 2 months where we were not, long distance.
Yeah.
We were together.
Overall, like
Overall.
if you combine all the dates sparsely,
Yeah.
we sparsely met in 5 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, it could come to 2 months maybe.
And that was mainly because we were in separate cities for most of the duration, not including the 2 years of COVID where we couldn't be together. I was in Delhi, Siliguri, sometimes in Mumbai. She was in Paris for 2 years, then she was in Kerala. So it was very hard for us to actually meet in person.
That was like our relationship mostly, just video calls, getting to know each other, spending time together, talking to one another. We really found out that we liked each other's company, and somehow that was enough to keep us going for 5 years.
I think that's the second part of the question.
Mhm.
He also asked, how did you manage that aspect?
I would say there's two types of couples. The first one being, the couple that spend time together and then doing, having parted and then doing long distance. And then the couple that started off apart, not ever meeting, physically. And that was the only kind of relationship that we've known. We weren't used to, or being with each other, it was challenging, but to me it wasn't the kind of challenging that many people say, usually say long distance relationships nightmare. But to me it didn't feel as bad because that's all I've ever known. I've never been in any other proper relationship before.
For me, I was a very strict believer in the idea that long distance relationships don't work. But at that point in my life, I think I was done, sort of mentally checked out with all the other kind of relationships.
How many? What do you mean other kinds of relationships?
The situationships, the crushes and all that. So I thought, this is something new. I've always been someone who prefers trying something new. So I thought it's I've never dated a South Indian
chick, exotic, coconuts.
Hey, I thought I've never dated a South Indian girl, and let me see what they're like. So how did we manage it? I'm the worst person to ask that because I think I managed it very horribly. Since it was Ria's first ever relationship, it gave me a lot of leeway. I don't think anyone else who had experiences with other relationships other people wouldn't have the same patience because I hate video calls, I hate phone calls. I only texted. Eventually we started talking more and more and more, and she said I had an amazing voice.
I never said that. You could tell that that's forced, I never said that.
So she forced me to call and
Put a gun to his head. I was like, if you don't call me, you're dead.
we weren't constantly on the phone, constantly on video call, mostly because of me.
We'd talk to each other maybe once in a week on, phone or video call. I didn't have like a baseline of how, okay, what is the frequency that two couples are supposed to keep in touch. I know that I have friends that have talked to their boyfriends every day, but I don't think that worked for us, we needed time to miss each other, and we were happy with the, we liked that, I guess.
I think the main idea is we didn't put any expectations on the end result.
Yeah.
So we just let it happen. Of course, you date someone with the intention of getting married, but we didn't put too much pressure in the beginning. We were like, let's see where it goes. She wanted to marry me the first time she saw my profile picture.
I didn't. I can't just marry a stranger.
If two people who are dating with the intention of eventually getting married, then it'll work.
Before I met him, I was like, I don't have the, energy, not just the energy, but put myself out there. It's scary to talk to boys and everything. So I was like, I'll do the arranged marriage thing. To me, I don't care for dating but this kind of popped up in a way that, I didn't expect it. I didn't think would be sitting here married with this guy.
Speaking of marriage, Only Misfit asked, what made you realize it was the right time to get married? I think for me, I thought it was the right time to get married when I realized I could never have this same chemistry connection. I would never find another person like you, basically.
I like him.
Well, you like me.
I love
as
him.
a friend.
No, I enjoy being with him. Our personalities mesh really well. Whenever we had conflicts or when we were going through obstacles, we always found a way, solution to overcome that. And I thought, hey, I think I could do life with this guy, I can count on him to always be there together and kind of the foundation. He seems like someone that's concrete. I know he'll be there. He'll be there through the ups and downs. Felt it in my heart that if I had to, have a partner through life, I just knew it was him. It had to be him because we work things out in a way that, makes us strong and ends up making us stronger. I don't know. I don't think I can just find that anywhere in anyone. So yeah, I gave you the most convoluted answer because I myself don't.
Yeah, thanks to your answer, we're late to meet Manpreet. We have like 10 minutes. We'll just fit one last couple question, and that's it for the couple questions. EPG1G asks, how would your life look like if y'all hadn't met? I think I'd still be a man child playing video games all day, ordering from Zomato. I'd definitely not be as happy as I am right now.
Oh, this is such a hard question because I've never imagined my life without. I don't know, to be honest. I can't answer that question. When I met you, I was super. My worldview was very. I don't know. Did I say liberal? I wasn't a traditional.
Woke. You were woke.
I was woke. I was not a traditional. I didn't have.
She's based now. She was woke. She's been radicalized.
I grew deeper in my faith, in a way, because of him.
Because I'm such a good Christian?
No, the opposite.
To balance it out. Okay, we're getting late, honey. Let's. Okay, Manpreet, I'm sorry if we're late, but we had to answer those questions. What happened? Late?
We are here for a sound healing session. Hi guys, welcome to my channel.
Hello.
How are you?
We're here at Sitong Delights. Apparently it's their 1-year anniversary. That's a nice washroom. That's the restaurant that we're at. There's a highway right nearby, so you have vehicle sounds. So right into the other question. There's 2 questions related to Kerala. And Gisa Girl asked, have you watched any Malayalam movies yet? And did you like it?
I introduced him to some Malayalam films because, how can you not? They're a few of the greatest films, right?
They're really good.
Yeah,
We watched Kumbalangi Nights recently. That was really good. And I think anything with Fahad Faisal.
Fahad Faisal. He likes Fahad Faisal movies.
Anything with Fahad Faisal was nice. Bangalore Days was nice. Then what was that? Pachavam something. It's like Avisham was fine while watching. Yeah. I didn't really like it. Hades asked when's the next video with Hans. Miss him already.
In April.
I think Hans is visiting Siliguri in April, so that's when you'll see him next. Zan.
Today we are doing a sound healing session. Sound healing is basically, it's kind of, you can say, meditation. So these are the Tibetan singing bowls. with which we are going to do the sound healing. There's this drum, there's a bamboo stick. Incorporating all these instruments, we are going to create this session where one can get relaxed. This is something which is very, very helpful for all the people, like let's say especially those who are mentally stressed, or maybe who are going through some anxiety or depression, or who just need some relaxation. Our body is kind of like, you can say that it's vibration. So there is like lot of imbalances in our own body. So the vibrations of these tools, it kind of helps to create the balance within us, which you will know when you have experienced the whole session.
Excited?
Very
It's the first
excited.
session.
Yeah, it's my first.
First time is the best one.
Yeah.
Every time I do it, I see a dream, I think. And this time it was like, I think I saw the end of the world or something. Okay, we just got done with the sit-only event. Thank you, Manpreet, for having us. I'll get right back into the questions. So I asked the people on Instagram to ask questions for this video, and a bunch of you asked me if I talked in Hindi or Nepali. The answer is yes. And some of you asked why I don't do the vlogs in Hindi or Nepali or any other language that I know. When I first started this vlog, I did consider a bunch of languages, but when it came time to actually do it, there was really no other choice. You see, ever since I was young, I've always thought in English. I lived outside for a little bit, for about 3 years in the Philippines, and had to completely relearn Nepali from scratch when I was in, I think, class 3. And I never actually formally learned Hindi. It was mostly out of conversation and Bollywood movies. So I had really no other option than to do it in English, even though I knew that there is a huge audience of Hindi speaking and Nepali speaking. My viewership would probably be much bigger than it is right now, but I still choose to do it in English because that's the language I'm most comfortable in. That's the language my brain works, and it's easiest for me to speak in that language. I don't have to translate it in my head. The weather just went to crap. Okay, so the next few questions are about the vlog. So Moksha Bhattacharya asked, who inspired you to start a YouTube channel? I don't know. I've always wanted to. There's no particular person that inspired me to start a YouTube channel, but I've been watching YouTube ever since I was a kid, and I've always wanted to start one. Feba Elza Chirian asks, what are the changes in life you've seen after starting a YouTube channel? For one, my wife expects me to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She's always asking, aren't you working? Aren't you working? Aren't you working? Because she wants to see the new vlog. Number two, starting the vlog has kind of made me a more intentional person. I think starting the vlog has made me into a doer rather than a planner, because I used to plan a lot, and since the vlog is daily, I don't really have a lot of time to plan. I just have to go out and shoot.
Shoot.
Arun XYZ07 asks, I'm planning to start a YouTube channel. 3 important tips. I don't know if I'm the best person to give tips on starting a YouTube channel. I only have 2,000 subscribers. But I think number 1, if you want to do it, do it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just do it. Number 2 is don't worry about the views, the likes, the subscriber count. If that is your main intention, to get famous or to earn money, there are better ways to do it. There are much better ways to do it. And number 3 is don't care about what people will say, what people will think. Don't worry about if your hair is always perfect in the shot. Don't worry about the comments that you'll get. If you want to start a YouTube channel, you really have to stop caring about these things. Otherwise, they'll just stress you out so much that you end up not continuing. Okay, so Raja Biswakam asked, when are you traveling to foreign countries for content? Maybe someday, but this is not really a travel channel or anything, so yeah, I'm not in any hurry to travel to a foreign country. But of course, I will hopefully go to a foreign country soon. We thought since we were nearby, we should pop by my parents' house. We were in Garidra, so we thought might as well surprise my mom. Hello. How's your office going? Yeah. It was a flop. She's not home. Anyway, let's get back to the question. Hey Aisha asked, I'm a socially awkward person. How do I overcome this? I think I'm a little qualified to answer this one because I still am a socially awkward person. It's just that
call BS.
I am a socially awkward person. It's just that I have learned over the years to hide it really well.
I guess the only way you overcome it is by exposing yourself onto more social,
More and more social
situations, like you said. If you keep yourself kind of in your comfort zone, we both like our own company. Like we like our alone time. Once in a while, we like to interact with people, but once we kind of get used to that alone time, it starts becoming more and more difficult to go and put yourself out there, interact, because there are certain cues, that you need to learn, get used to.
For me, it's not that technical. For me, I just fake it.
Same.
Like I overcompensate. I become overly friendly. I over joke. Sometimes that becomes even more awkward than it was initially. Like if I'm going into a social situation as a surprise, I hate it. I still for example, surprise guests show up at my house. What I used to do was I used to lock myself in my room. So I don't like running into people in the mall or outside when I'm doing something, like when I don't expect it and it's a surprise, I hate it. But one tip when you're going to have a social interaction is in your mind, just remind yourself they're awkward as well. They don't know what to say as well. Like whatever you end up saying, no matter how good or bad, they don't care. They're too busy with their own life, just like you're too busy with your own insecurities in your head.
Life.
They're busy with their own insecurities. You're busy with your own insecurities. So it doesn't really matter. Like for a stranger to remember you, you'll have to be really bad.
The problem is the thing is that you only get one meeting with a stranger, right?
That's my answer. It's like you don't worry about messing it up. If you mess it up, you'll never have to see that person again. If it goes good, then it goes good. Who cares? I think that's my mom. She's walking. Okay, so a bunch of personal questions. So Cursed Brain asks, what advice would you give to a 20-year-old? Okay, so I think there's two situations here. Number one is if I'm talking to a 20-year-old that is 20 years old today. So I'm talking to someone almost 10 years my junior. To the kids who are 20 right now, I would say stop playing video games. Seriously. Or at least try not to play so many video games. I think I spent too much of my 20 playing video games, and I think that's my biggest regret. The day I stopped playing video games, I think my life improved tenfold. I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for that one, but still, yeah, stop playing video games. Now the second case is if I was giving advice to my 20-year-old self. If I could talk to my 20-year-old self, what I would say is have fun, don't worry about things too much, start that YouTube channel, and of course spend more time with the people you love. My mom wants me to take some photos of the flowers that have bloomed, so here's a little flower montage. There seems to be some confusion regarding where I'm from. For example, YTuber920 asked, what's your history? How did your family come from Nepal to India? Did you ever feel like going back? And Mike Shinoda asked, how was it like growing up as a teenager in Sikkim? Well, first of all, it's my fault. I did title the marriage story video Nepali Boy Marries Kerala girl. I meant Nepali in an ethnic and language way, not in a nationality way. I'm fully Indian, so are my grandparents on both sides. And about the Sikkim question, that's just an educated guess, I think, because a lot of Lepchas live in Sikkim. My family, though, we're more in the Darjeeling district of West Bengal. That's just a clarification of what my origins are, I guess. Now, the funny thing is, we did actually live in Nepal for quite a bit. So my family kind of did come to India from Nepal once. I guess it was a good experience, but they just came back home. Nepal, the country, is one thing, and the Nepali community in India is another thing. It's kind of like saying African American. Yeah, I do speak the Nepali language and may have some of my culture that is associated with Nepal, but I'm completely Indian, so that's it. Babe? Huh? Every time we visit, Mom always wants us to stay the night, but we cannot. I'm sorry, we have to go. Hello. Hello.
Hello everyone, please subscribe this channel.
And become a member. I'm already member.
She's demanding become, otherwise you'll get
He's the first member.
I was because I didn't have phone, so I did everything and I told him to push the button.
Mom always want to be a top.
She's beef soup, beef bone soup.
Exactly what I needed.
This is from Kalimpong.
Like if you've had a batari.
Not good.
And we're back home. So let's finish this up. Afro XCR asked me for budget-friendly gear recommendations. Okay, so if there's anyone who's curious about what kind of gear I use to shoot these videos, I list down everything that I use, as well as some more budget-friendly recommendations. In the description of every video, you can see a bunch of links. They're all affiliate links, so if you use that to buy, that'll also help the channel by giving it a small commission at no extra cost to you. So if you're interested to know, be even better, if you're interested to buy anything, then just use those links and it'll help a lot. Now, there were a lot of questions that I think I've already answered in previous videos. So what I'll do is I'll add the question and I'll link the video that I've answered that question in the description. So you can just go and, so if you've asked a question that didn't show up in this video, it might be there. So just check the description. And there's also a lot of questions that I've either skipped intentionally because I plan to make a full video on those topics, or that I may have not received in time or forgotten to include. So those questions, I'll carry it over to the next Q&A. So yeah, thank you all for all the questions. I hope I answered them in a satisfactory way. So if you want to watch something else, you can watch this video next. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.